Kickout Podcast. We're here with the EST Bianca Belair. Bianca, congratulations on your new representation.
Thank you.
Did you ever think like your journey from starting in the ring all those years ago will take you outside the ring and beyond?
No.
No.
When I first came in, I was so new. I had no idea what to expect, even inside the ring. So to be standing here as Raw Women's Champion is just a dream come true, a dream that I didn't even know I had until it existed. But I'm just honored and grateful for the position that I'm in. And I'm a person, I like to do everything. And so I'm still honing my craft here and trying to do as much as possible here. I'm just getting started and then, start trying to do even more stuff on the outside.
Like you said, you've done amazingly well. You're Raw Women's Champion. Liv isn't too far from us. We've seen a lot of, unification stuff recently. Is the SmackDown Women's Championship something you got your eye on?
Listen, I think I have a lot on my hands right now as Raw Women's Champion, and our women's division on the Raw side is so extensive. We just got new people like Bailey, Io, and Dakota who, I have unfinished business with Bailey, so I think I'm going to have to focus on them first on the Raw side, and then, Liv has to focus on Shayna for Clash, and then we'll see what happens. I love Survivor Series when we get to have Raw versus SmackDown, so, I'm for the unification, but then I'm kind of not. I like the separation.
Okay. And, of course, we know you're girls with Naomi and Sasha Banks, and their titles have just been given to someone else. They earned them, but have you told your girls that the titles you never lost, someone else has them?
Well, I'm very proud for Raquel and Aaliyah. The women, they earned it. The women that were in the tag team division, they all worked very hard in this tournament. And now the titles are around the waist of Raquel and Aaliyah, and they've earned it. Even Aaliyah, I think this is her first title since she's been in WWE right now. So I think that right now we should really be praising Aaliyah and Raquel and let them have their moment for right now, and then they're gonna have to defend them eventually, and then we'll see what happens.
Cool.
That was Max with Bianca Belair. Great interview, fun interview, Max. What did you think of that interview, Max?
Yeah, I think it was good. I've interviewed her before with you guys, so this was in the flesh. So yeah, it was good. She's nice.
It was a bit more of a personal one, isn't it? A bit more of a one-on-one.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't have asked her about Sasha Banks and Naomi, but
her face she didn't like that. But that's okay.
Yeah.
One thing we can talk about. But let's kick off the intro. Welcome to a new episode of the Kickout Podcast. I'm going by the name of Ryan Skillit.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Ace.
Hey, I'm Tate.
My name is Mex.
Yo, and I'm Scan.
And what I wanted to say before I went back into doing the introduction mode, because I didn't introduce the episode earlier, was Mex, you and I had a front row ticket, and Ace as well, but Ace was busy doing a lot of media stuff, but he was with us at the same time. When before you interviewed Bianca Belair, Mex, she was being she was being quizzed on legendary wrestlers throughout the years of WWE with an image of their photos from a legendary SmackDown game. Was it Bring the Pain?
Here comes the pain.
Here comes the pain. So obviously it's very the photos are very like cartoony and a bit blurry, and the graphics, is old school graphics stuff. So so if you really know your wrestling, you would know who they are. But unfortunately for her, she struggled. But she's always put her hands up to say she wasn't always a big wrestling fan. So she tried her best. We won't go too much into it, but I think she was a bit embarrassed.
Yeah, and I don't think I helped, but hey.
No, none of us helped. There's the part when Ace and I had an in-joke about something else, completely random, nothing to do with Bianca Belair, and we both chuckled out loud. At the time, she was struggling with the quiz, so she looked up at us, gave us an evil eye, thinking that we were laughing at her. We wasn't.
We weren't. It wasn't nothing to do with that. I didn't even know what the game was.
Yeah.
So, I was oblivious.
And then she came over. She said, "Oh, I'm so mad with myself." It's all right, darling. It's okay. Anyway, Ace, what questions do you have to kick off this episode?
Can I be honest? This is going to be an episode of a lot of random shit that I've been thinking about while watching wrestling over the last few weeks. There's a lot of stuff going on, and obviously there's a lot of catching up I got to do. You guys know I'm not so into AEW like you guys, so I've been catching up little bits and pieces. So I do have loads of little different questions. We just found out that Skillit has got a new job at OnlyFans, so I just wanted to find out who you guys think would be the biggest earner on OnlyFans in the world of professional wrestling? That's my first question.
Well, Sunny, in her heyday, in her prime.
Yeah.
Not obviously not now. She looks.
So OnlyFans isn't obviously just for X-rated content. So are we talking about if the wrestlers were to be doing
What do you mean
X-rated
OnlyFans?
content?
What do you mean that OnlyFans ain't just for X-rated? What do you mean? Ain't it just for
Apparently,
X-rated
you can
content?
do all kinds of things there. It's for all walks of life. It's not just for getting your body parts out. So
What else would you
people have
put on
said.
it?
So what was originally the concept for OnlyFans, Max? So how comes you know all this, huh?
Listen, I don't have anything to do with OnlyFans. I'm not a subscriber to anybody, so I'm just assuming, innit?
Can I go to my next random question? Because this one's going nowhere.
Well, I feel like the bushwhackers will make a lot of money on OnlyFans.
Why?
Why? Explain.
Because they do this
Yeah.
and they lick people's foreheads and they rub.
That's quite. Yeah.
That would do well on
Depending
OnlyFans.
on what
There's
you
a lot of
like.
fetishes. There's a lot of fetishes out there.
Didn't they say Lana
You know
made
what,
20K first
You know-
day?
What?
Lana,
Wow.
what?
Tony Storm made 10K first day. Lana made 20K first day.
What were they doing on OnlyFans?
I think it's just bikini pictures and stuff.
Huh? 10K.
I know Zelina Vega was doing that cosplay stuff, innit? Like edgy cosplay stuff that was earning a lot of money. But I reckon Dudleys will make a lot of money, man. People into like tables and woods and want to see people go through tables and stuff.
No, he said tables and wood. That's hilarious. I'm sorry. That's funny.
I think the Dudleys will do well on TikTok. I don't know about OnlyFans, bro. I don't know about that.
No, you don't know because you get like custom things. So people
Custom
will be like,
videos.
right, put this person through a table or make them dress up like this and then put them through a table.
So you can do all. So that's what you can do in OnlyFans. It's not just porn. People just made it porn.
Of course,
Yeah.
bro.
You
Listen. If you was into seeing your wife get put through a table, bro, you would pay money for that. Trust, I'm sure.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. No way.
No
way.
You would never want to see your wife be put through a table.
I would never want to see that.
Never.
Never.
Your enemies.
Never. All right, my next question. So it's gonna be bad. We're gonna catch up on what's been going on. My next question.
Let's just have fun today. I feel like our podcast has become generic and boring. We need fun. Sorry, go on.
This is kind of not a fun question, but the Viking Raiders.
Yeah.
Is it time to just let them go, man? This injury after injury after injury, comeback injury,
Are they injured
comeback
now?
face injury,
Fine.
comeback heel injury. Like, what do we do now? Like, just let it go.
Are they
innit?
injured right now? Are they
Yeah.
injured right now? Oh, is
Yeah.
it?
One of them's out foot, and they said they don't know how long this is. It's a foot injury. Which one is it, Skillit? I know you know. I think it's Eric. I think it's Eric.
It's
He
probably
has a foot injury, and they didn't even say how long he'd be out for. They was just like, it's a long-term injury. Sorry to make
I
everybody
think
get
just
serious.
leave them for like main event, them small shows there.
I mean, I think they might need a repackage. Do we need to still go with this Viking gimmick? Maybe they can give
They've
them
just
something
been
new.
repackaged.
With another Viking gimmick, though, isn't it? It's still a
The
Viking.
new and improved Viking Raiders is what they call
Is that what they're called? The new and improved Viking
Or the
Raiders?
new, what they call the vicious Viking Raiders, something like that.
Listen, we had a Viking funeral on TV. That's what's going on.
Oh, for the Queen.
No, there was a Viking funeral. Remember that? They did a funeral for the New Day.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I know you. I knew what you meant. Yeah, of course.
What? I'm on Zoom.
There we go.
Listen. Where do we get this table? What is Dudley? Can we get the Dudley table?
Let's go. Max! Get the table!
No table around me, sorry.
Christopher!
When Ace puts her through the table, you do the twirl and the...
Okay, my next question. I'm going to keep going because you guys get that. My next question. In this era of Roman Reigns being kind of a part-timer, we don't see him on TV from week to week here. Would you prefer him to be on TV every week for 6 months and then take a break for 6 months, or have it in the way that we have it right now, where he just turns up for every now and then and for special events? Go. You have to direct the question to people. I'm going to start with you, guys.
I prefer the sporadic appearances. I don't think the whole 6 months thing. Yeah. I think I'd rather him show up like how Brock Lesnar. I think Reigns needs to be like a Brock Lesnar kind of role where he shows up whenever he wants, shows up at this pay-per-view, that pay-per-view. I don't think it, because we didn't think about it, even with the Brock Lesnar thing, even though he wasn't there all the time, you didn't really miss him. You didn't really like, and it felt special when he did show up. When he did show up, it did feel great. And you feel like you want to tune in. I'm going to be honest, I don't tune into wrestling like I used to. I don't watch SmackDown and Raw like I used to. So I kind of need reasons to watch it now. So if I was told, oh, Reigns has showed up on SmackDown this week, I would probably put it on. Same way I watched the Logan Paul segment this morning. I was like, oh, Paul and Reigns are going to get into something. I watch it. Otherwise, I probably want to watch SmackDown this week. I'm going to be honest. As a wrestling podcast, I know that's quite weird.
Anyone else?
Tay, she's a Roman Reigns girl.
I wanted to have an opposition to Skillit, but I don't. I'd rather see it sporadic than just a block of 6 months and then off for 6 months. It does make the shows a bit more special when he comes on. If you're seeing like the bloodline and then all of a sudden like, oh, he's here, the head's here. But to have him on like a full 6 months and then just off for time, I don't know if that's gonna work.
Yeah, but then the comebacks are sick. If he's away for a little while, the comeback is in, like the pop when he comes back is mad. And then also, I want to see Roman on TV every week, not because I fancy him, but just because I think he has both titles. Like he's the head of the, if I see the bloodline, I want to see Roman Reigns. I don't want a Logan Paul promo where Roman Reigns doesn't respond there and then. Like I think he needs to be on TV every week, in my opinion.
I agree that the promo was missing Reigns, but Heyman did hold it. Heyman did hold it down. Heyman was good. He's the advocate. So Reigns will show up soon. Yeah.
But I do like it where it's like they're there, and then unless something like is really important, then he's like, all right, I'm going to show my face, and he's like, no, I don't need to be here for you people. It's more of a heel thing where it's sporadic because it's like I'm not coming to this waste city. Nah, I'll come to this city. That's how I see it.
Yeah. So Solo saved him at Clash of the Castle. Even the whole bloodline, including Paul Heyman, was back last night. Roman should have been there. Yeah, like, how has Roman not even shown up since Clash of the Castle? He's showing up next week, but he ain't shown up since Clash of the Castle. Like, for me, I want a champion that's always on TV. If I can't get that, then I'll take the sporadicness over the 6 months on, 6 months off.
Okay. I like that. Scan, do you have an opinion on this? I look like Tintin with my hair. Fucking hell. Sorry.
Yeah, I, as long as it's not what they're doing with Edge, man, like always getting written off with an injury. Like, yeah, I think the sporadic thing kind of works, you know. It's like he brings something extra, like it's like a main event thing, like when he shows up, you know, it's like you said, it's must-see TV, and it's for everyone else to step up. So, you know, if the champ ain't there, then everyone has to level up, man. So that's what I feel.
Roman, stop being lazy, man. Just come every week, fam.
Lazy, giving him too much
you got to think about, we come from eras where the champ was on every week, starts the show. Do you know what I'm saying? If you go actually, even like we're not going to do Cena versus Stone Cold today, are we? Should we leave that alone?
No, we can. We talk about everything and everything today.
That man were on TV every week without fail.
Different time though, man. Let's not change the game.
Do you know what I realized? Like pre-Raw, like when we was growing up, like man, like Hogan wasn't on TV every week. Like Hogan kind of just showed up for the pay-per-views.
Yeah, and did pre-recorded promos.
Pre-recorded promos, and obviously syndication was different back then, innit? Because obviously you only had 4 pay-per-views a year, and you only had like what was it called? Superstars and main event back then before Monday Night Raw. So it's different. And that's why I felt more special. That's why I was these guys are more of a draw because there was less of it. That's what I'm saying. Wrestling needs to be less, in my opinion. Less content, more access to me watching it. But who do I know? But I would say that obviously I do think a lot of the reason why Reigns ain't doing the full-time schedule is because of his health concerns as well, right? Am I right? You know.
Yeah, that could possibly be a reason. Because it's not like we're actively seeing him be part of like TV shows or films or anything like that. So he does have hella kids at home as well.
I didn't realize he has 4 children.
5.
He has 5 kids. He has 5 kids.
He has a daughter, and
then a daughter and two twins.
Twin boys.
Two boys, yeah.
Just saw Taylor's heart slowly break. Did you see that?
I know. I
You
saw
see on the
that.
screen? I saw it. Like, it just started to slowly break.
And Tate's crying right now.
Crying. All right, next question. What is her name Michelle Rodriguez?
Raquel.
Raquel Rodriguez.
What is that?
Michelle Rodriguez.
What is
That's an
that?
actress, bro.
Was she huge in
Fast and
NXT?
Furious.
Was she a big deal?
She was an NXT. She was an NXT World Champion, Women's Champion.
Oh, she was.
And the tag team champion down there as well.
I missed that whole thing.
Yeah.
She is she dates Braun Strowman.
But
Oh,
she's
is
still
it?
dating him though.
Yeah, she dates Braun. I don't know.
I don't know if she's still, but I would assume so.
They would make millions on OnlyFans together. Are you all right? I want to see that.
Yeah.
What, you think I don't want to see that?
She,
I'll sign up. What's that? £19 a month. I'm on it. Let me see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. I'm not gonna say. But
to do with the Braun Express or something. What were you gonna say?
I'm just not gonna say it. It's just no point. Sometimes I do this thing sometimes on the kick out, and I've been noticing of this. Sometimes I do these things, but I trail off about people's character, and it's like it's not needed. It's not, my opinion doesn't have to be always voiced. Let me just shut up. But yeah,
say it's not working, is it?
I think she's good, but in NXT she was more mean, and even when it turned her face, she was just like a regular person. Like they've had her for weeks since she came up as like this smiley person. Like, and I don't think that works. But I think there's a lot of stock in her. She's different. There's no one like her in the women's division. So
did Apollo Crews ruin smile gimmicks for all the baby faces? Has he ruined it?
I don't think it was him.
There
would be someone that is definitely culpable for that, but I don't think it's Apollo Crews.
Okay, I just want to blame him for some reason. Okay, I've got a question.
Go on.
What's the best quote in wrestling in 2022?
Scissor me daddy, yes.
So you're saying Scissor me daddy from the Acclaim. Max, what you're saying?
I don't know. I need to think about this one.
Tay?
I don't know. They kind of rinse their lines out a bit too much these days. It's just too over the top, so I can't even think of a good one.
Ace, what's the best quote in wrestling in 2022?
I have no idea.
I got the answer. I'm surprised none of you have said it. I'm tired and I work with fucking children.
Oh, fun that guy, bro.
That is, I don't think you guys realize. Forget all the personal shit aside, yeah. That is the best pipe bomb in years, bro. Years.
You know the joke of it.
Iconic, bro.
The joke of it is when he re-signed in his promo when Rampage started and he came out, he said, "I can't wait to come here and work with all the talented young talent AEW have."
Yeah.
Now they're what? Pricks, and he doesn't want to work with children.
He didn't say that about the whole stuff.
He called them pricks. He did.
He said that about the EVP. He didn't say that about AEW stuff as a whole. You're missing his words now, Max. You're missing his words, bro.
I'm not. Bro, I've watched this thing. He said,
"I'm tired and I work with fucking children." So he's talking about.
Yeah, he said before that. He said he worked with pricks.
He's talking about MJF. He said MJF's a prick. He said the Young Bucks are pricks, and he said Kenny Omega's a prick. That's the only people he's talking about. He's not talking about nobody else.
But is he acting like he wasn't a prick before when he was younger anyway?
Yeah,
like, he was an arsehole in WWE. He was an arsehole.
But you have to understand his point too.
About your Punk take, Skillit, honestly.
No, because I get it.
Because I know how you thought about him before he came, and I get like, you know, he's great, you liked him or whatever, but you also was like, yeah, he's a prick.
Yeah, so I never said he wasn't a prick.
Why are we celebrating the prickery?
No, my thing is, I feel like you need to be neutral with the prickery celebration, because I feel like it's all on Punk, but you're not you're not saying nothing about MJF, and none of you man are saying nothing about Hangman Page. None of you man are saying nothing about Young Bucks. I think it's all indicated to Punk. I think Kenny Omega might have got a bit of a raw deal in this whole thing, and I agreed that Punk was rude to Tony Khan. I didn't like how he spoke over him. I admitted that, but I think everybody was wrong in this occasion. I don't think it's just Punk, but I think everybody's hating on Punk.
Everyone was wrong, but someone was worse.
You hate neutral. You hate neutral because I don't hear people tweeting about why is Bunk's leaking information, why is Hangman Page saying shit off script. None of you men are saying that. So If you're gonna banter about somebody, see, this is the childish shit you're doing. Now you're the prick. What I'm saying is, if you're gonna
all right, Skillit.
No, I'm gonna keep it real because I'm sick of this shit. I'm tired. I'm tired, and I'm podcasting with fucking children.
Nah, I think everything can be right. You know what I'm saying? But I think, like Mex just said, everyone's being unprofessional, but somebody is being the most unprofessional, the most experienced person as well. Somebody that's come from another company, somebody that's way older, somebody that's getting paid a lot. Does that take away that that's not an iconic moment? That's all I said today. I didn't defend it. All I said was never going to be forgotten. That was an iconic moment, and all you might want to come back and jump back on me. All I said was
there's a difference between famous and infamy. Like you can do something.
It's an iconic moment.
We could do something for a negative reason. This was very iconic negative.
Moment, man. They could twist this. They could twist this to a big money earner. If they all fucking close their fucking egos and work together, which is what they're supposed to do. If they just put all their feelings aside and work together and be professional, they could turn this moment to something really special. But will they? I don't know.
No, because Tony Khan can't get their shit together. Like he needs to be the one to sort that shit out.
He needs help, boy. I don't know. He needs. You know what he needs to do?
This is basically. I know everyone's been saying it. This is. So see, I knew this was gonna happen. I'm doing this from my phone, guys.
That's all right.
This is WCW if everybody at the time had social media.
Yeah, I agree.
You gotta remember, like we only find out now that everything was going on behind the scenes. But if they had social media during that time, this is exactly what we've been going on.
All they need to do is put feelings aside, work together, and then they can make something great out of it. Tony Khan needs help. He needs to make JR talent relations. JR needs to start doing talent relations and start booking the show. I don't know. Tony Khan just needs help.
JR needs to firstly behave like he wants to be there because he calls out everything AEW do as well. I don't know what kind of employee calls out everything wrong that AEW do.
Is Punk done, man? Punk's not fired, is he?
No. I don't think any of them should be. I don't think any of them should be. I don't think anyone should be fired. It's not that deep to be fired over. It's not that deep.
Does anyone know if there's like a clause in their contract where like they've all been gagged? Because like no one's saying nothing about anything.
So apparently, what came out yesterday or 2 days ago, that apparently when Punk made reference to he's trying to run a business here, people are saying that he's actually more than a wrestler. He's like some type of upper management. Hence why he made that comment. Not an EVP, but some type of upper management. And this is obviously why I think it's not so easy to just get rid of anyone in the situation, because they're not contractors, wrestlers. These guys are all involved in this, are all obviously EVPs or whatever role they've given Punk, which I have my own opinions on, offering wrestlers jobs and offering them positions in management as well. Like they offered Jericho and Mox to be EVPs when they started the company as well, and the man declined. But obviously Punk with his deal took some type of position upstairs. So yeah. But it's rumors, but that's what they're saying, that they can't just get rid of him, basically.
I don't know, man. I feel like there's a lot of ego in so many different aspects with so many different talents. Like Young Bucks want to make sure that they're the best tag team in AEW. I know FTR's won a lot of titles, but they're not. I still think there's a little shade on FTR that they throw on FTR. Getting FTR to lose to Lee and Swerve. So only for the Young Bucks to go back and win the title. Young Bucks winning the 3-man tag titles, being the first one to win that with Kenny Omega when they should have been House of Black. I think there's a lot of decisions that these men are making just to make themselves look great because it's their company. And I think a lot of these things they've been talking about. And this is what Punk is talking about. But anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about other things. Ace, what other questions did you have?
Now, I could just know that I know I work for a different organization, but if I went rogue on a microphone one day, I would be sitting in my house broke. I'd be fired instantly. So you can't say that no one should be. You can't say no one should be fired. I think if you work for a company and you just go rogue and do your own thing, and that's not even just Punk, that's all of them. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's a company. You're going to bring the company into disrepute. We haven't sanctioned this.
It's you're black. It's you're black. That's why you be fired, because you're black. If you're white and you did that, I
feel like if Scott Mills did that, or fucking if Gary Lineker did it on Match of the Day, they'd be sacked, bro. You can't just like go off and do your own thing. You work for a company, unless you own the company. Yeah.
TK needs to make an example of these boys. I don't care even if it's not any of these front man or someone that's in the back that watched it happen, or I don't know. Someone needs to be made an example of, because right now these men are just running riot in this company, like, and it's set to continue if you don't really, draw the line somewhere.
Well, obviously they also suspended. Something is happening.
Let me ask you a question. Who owns the right to the word elite? And I mean that in the sense where if they sack the Young Bucks and them, can they turn around and be like, boy, we came up with the name, we need to change the name of the wrestling?
I think so, because I think they would have trademarked it because they were making merch sales of the Elite name before they did AEW. So I assume it'll be them. I assume it'll be Kenny and the Young Bucks who owns that name.
Oh, wow.
I assume, yeah. That's why it's called All Elite. Right? It's their company, really and truly. It's their company. That's even more reason why they were pissed, because it's like, wow, this is our company. You're talking about us like this. So that's why they were even. I get it, but it's just I don't think it's that deep. I really don't.
I know you wouldn't have it, and that's what I kept saying to you.
I agree. No, I agree.
It's always deep, isn't it? Like,
no. I agree. I can understand the emotions are high, and I can understand the confrontation afterwards. I can understand the fighting. I can understand all of that. I can understand all those emotions. But when you have time to step away from it and you think about your actions, you're like, you know what? I acted stupid. I acted dumb too. Let's talk about what the problem is. Let's resolve this. It can get resolved. This happens in wrestling all the time, bro. This is happening all the time. This is why I'm like, it's not that deep. This is the wrestling that I know. So
it can be resolved. You've got men saying like, "This is my company," and they're like, "It's going my way because it's my company." That ain't getting resolved.
No one said it's my company. Who said that?
No, but the young Bucks are going to back down like that. If it's going head to head with Punk and them.
Yeah.
Who is more likely to be like, no, this is my company. What I said, like, you can't say.
Yeah, but then it really and truly is Tony's company, isn't it?
But he ain't doing shit. He's sitting at the sideline talking with his big eyes. That's all he's doing.
If Tony's looking at it, right? Yeah. All right, listen, we built the company under your name, yeah. Kenny and the Young Bucks, yeah. We built this company up. All the stuff that you've done in the independents in Japan, you've had great success. You draw a lot of merchandise. You sold out tickets. You sold out stadiums and houses, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you ain't making more money than this man here. I was brought in for 1 year. You ain't making more money than Punk. So what do you want me to do? You want me to get rid of Punk too when he's the reason why I'm making bare money?
That's true, but Tony's not going to say that.
So
if he would have said, he would have said that already.
I just feel if they're smart and think business. Just think business. I'm not saying you have to be cool with the brother. I'm not saying you have to hang out with Punk after fucking Dynamite. But just be like, you know what? Money-wise, if we want to survive, if we want to do this thing and compete, we need to resolve these issues and make a big money angle out of it. That's what used to happen. Edge and Matt Hardy did it. And that was 10 times worse than what's going on here. Edge fucked his girl. Like, come on, what are we doing? And you, man, and I bet when that happened, you might were Team Edge. I bet all of you might were Team Edge when that happened, didn't it? And Edge was wrong.
Mad.
I bet none of you said Edge is unprofessional. He should leave. He fuck Lee. None of you said that. All of you said, yeah, I like the Raiders. Yeah, Raiders, superstar. Yeah. All of you said it. All of you. Bro, all of you. I know. All of you. Anyway, next question, Ace. Next question.
Let me interject real quick. I want to ask all you guys this question, right? The same way WWF had to change from WWF to WWE, right? Say they had to find a new word and they couldn't use elite anymore. What should they change it to?
Sick question. Ace. All Ace Wrestling.
No. It's still got to be an E. It's still got to be an E.
Oh, it's got to be. Okay.
To be fair, Ace is probably quite a good replacement for elite in terms of meaning of the word and everything.
Trust me. AEW. Go on, Skillit. I know you got it. You're a rapper, bruv. You're a wordsmith. What I'm to you?
I think if they can't use that word no more, they should close doors, bro. It's done, bro. It's done, bro.
No, TNA changed their name how many times?
To what? To Impact.
Impact, Global
what impact did that have? None.
They changed their name. That's what I said. I never said it worked out for them.
I think they should resolve all of these. I don't think they should think about firing anyone. I think that would be a grave mistake I think they need to work on trying to restore that relationship, make everybody work together. That's what they need to do. That would be my focus, 100%.
Has this affected CM Punk's popularity at all?
I think it proves to a lot of people that WWE wasn't solely wrong in the whole situation. The whole situation, the back and forth of how Punk was feeling, his frustrations and all that stuff. WWE wasn't solely wrong. Vince wasn't solely wrong to view Punk the way he did. Maybe they misstepped a few things. Yes, they made mistakes. They did that. They disrespected Daniel Bryan. But Daniel Bryan just preserved. He didn't, Daniel Bryan cut a few promos and just kept it moving, and his excellence in the ring showed that he deserved to be where he got. Punk, on the other hand, he's riddled with injuries. He was miserable. He was tired. He was working with fucking children, and he was getting hurt every 2 seconds. And he knew when they didn't put him in the main event when he faced off against Taker, they should have. That should have been the main event, and that was Punk's last great match. I don't give a fuck. I'm keeping it completely real. Punk hasn't wrestled great since that match. He hasn't. Right. He hasn't got it anymore. I'm gonna keep it real. That's probably another reason why he's so frustrated. He knows his body can't take it. He was pissed off. He's injured. He had the match with Moxley. He won back the belt. I'm fucking injured again, and I've got to do a fucking press conference afterwards. Let me just go home, innit? And enjoy my Millie's muffins, innit? And sit in this way. So that's why he lashed out as well. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I understand it. And that's all I'm asking you guys to do. Just understand it. Understand his frustration. It's not about right or wrong. Because I don't think anybody is right or wrong. I don't think Hangman Page right. I don't think Young Bucks are right. I don't think anybody's right in this occasion. But I just want people to be understood. And I think Punk is gravely misunderstood.
I understand. And I think from my point, I was like Punk needs to be sacked after this. Now I'm not so much Punk needs to be sacked, but at the same time, I'm more like Tony needs to get control of the ship because he's suspended all of these man, but it hasn't been dealt with like I'm suspending these guys publicly because he just said, okay, we're crowning new trios champs. We're crowning a new champion. Obviously, Punk is now injured for 8 months. It's like this all happened in the public. So why don't you deal with it in terms of, right, you all saw what happened. These men are suspended. And it knows like it's now publicly like I've put my foot down. Like rather, it looks like Punk is just now off because he's injured for 8 months.
Right.
Like that, I feel like this is all that's needed, like to show that he's in control. But yeah.
No, I agree. Now, I agree with that. Max, I agree with that.
Is Punk still like the most over wrestler in AEW?
Yeah.
Probably.
Really? No, I'm not talking about like in regards to like superstar. I'm talking about like the reaction.
A lot of AEW fans have turned like their opinion because of this thing, but I guess you can only tell when Punk returns, and lucky for him, it's going to be 8 months later when he returns. People might have forgotten and forgiven him, and he'll get a rousing ovation. So
I think it'll be a huge mistake if they bring him back and keep him as a face. He needs to come back and be a heel because when he's a heel, that's his best work. And I think with all that momentum, him being away for how many months he'll be away from this whole incident, coming back as a heel, shooting on people. Obviously scripted, not being fucking an arsehole, but scripted shooting on people with a little bit of elements of reality in it. It will do great numbers and business with AEW. They need to think smart going forward. Like I said, I don't think this whole thing is that deep.
Listen, 8 months will take us to like the middle of 2023, yeah? That end of 2023 into 2024, yeah, there's going to be no wrestler bigger than MJF. I promise you.
I agree.
Like, he is going to be huge. Like
I agree.
Obviously, he's using the whole "I'm leaving to go W" like that. Everyone's eyes will be on him, and I think he has the potential to be bigger than Punk.
I agree.
Within that space of time.
Punk knows. Listen, I never realized why Punk was pissed. Punk knows.
Yeah.
Punk knows.
Okay.
Punk knows MJF is the guy. He knows.
Yeah.
Man got cheered out the building when he returned to Chicago, brother. Punk's like, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that added to it too.
He said that in the press conference, didn't he? That why would you make this guy return in Chicago? Like,
but
he's meant to be a heel.
And I said in the last podcast we did, I said that was stupid. That's ego. Because if you can't see that was a brilliant move by Tony Khan, then that's Punk's ego. I did say that in the last episode.
Again, denouncing his manager right next to him.
He's crazy,
bro.
Like I said, I don't like how he spoke to Tony Khan. I don't like how he spoke over him. That's the only thing I'm actually don't like that he did, if I'm honest. I don't give a fuck about the EVPs. I don't give a fuck. Because if they're chatting shit about me, I'm going to speak shit too. So it is what it is.
Do you think the muffin was a prop?
Oh, I know, but it just adds to the genius.
So how do you know it wasn't a prop? How do you know he didn't? You don't think he planned to have not a prop? Like it was obviously a real muffin, but like, do you think he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna," because he knew it when he sat down, he knew what he was gonna say. Do you think he was like, "I'm gonna eat a muffin while doing this"?
I disagree. I think he just did it because he didn't want to do the press conference. I think he was frustrated. He was tired. So he's eating muffins. Like, I'm gonna eat my muffin. I don't give a fuck if it's unprofessional. I'm eating it. I'm gonna speak from my heart. But that just shows the fucking brand that CM Punk is, yeah? Man's eating mini muffins. He fucking plugs it. And you know how much money they've made since that fucking press cup, that scrum, bro? They've made bare money, bro. Everybody's like, yeah, bro. If you Google it, they've got so much comments, people buying it. I went after that press conference, I'm gonna buy it. They made bank. That showed, that's another value of Punk. He's showing them, this is what I can do, plug this thing, and this company's gonna make money, and I'm just eating muffins.
People are weird. Like, why are you gonna be like, oh my god, he ate that muffin? Let me go. Like, I don't get it.
That's what it's like.
So CM Punk co-signed a muffin. I'm gonna go eat one.
But that's like that's celebrity culture in general. People,
of course.
People buy things Beyonce stood on. People, I think all that shit's weird. I don't give a fuck about all that. That's what people do. That's what people do.
Bro, they just eBayed one of Nicki Minaj's press-on nails, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you hear about
like one? Just for one nail.
Yeah, one nail that fell off MTV Award.
How much is it?
Grand, that went for grand.
Yeah, it's
like 75k or something like that. Insane.
I hate this culture. I hate that. I hate it. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. What was my next? I had a few. Oh, we was talking about this in the group chat earlier, but I feel like we should discuss it on the pod. Drew McIntyre.
You can say it. All of you can say it. Say it. Acknowledge me. Acknowledge me. I said it last year, 2 years ago. I said it. He's not a star. Acknowledge me. Go on. I want all you guys to say.
No, why I won't. Because
I want you to say, I'm sorry,
Skillit. Only because of COVID.
I'm sorry,
Drew
Skillit.
didn't make it.
No, I don't care. Tay, sorry. Just say I'm sorry, Skillit.
No. Because if he was blown up in 2020, that was not his fault.
I was right.
Unfortunate for him.
I was right. If you're a star, you're a star, regardless of COVID, regardless of whatever. You're a star.
Listen, Stone Cold would never have been a star in an empty stadium. Never.
Facts. The glass smash ain't gonna hit the same, bro. Glass smash ain't gonna hit the same.
Hold on, wait, hold on. What are you man talking about? Hold on. You man are just moving all left with this conversation and argument here, yeah? Drew McIntyre didn't just debut in a freaking empty stadium. Drew McIntyre's been in wrestling for like 10 plus years. He had his moment at Royal Rumble before that freaking COVID happened.
And he was over.
All I'm saying is, if he's a star, if he's a star, he wouldn't have won the titles the other day. But he didn't.
But this is why what you're saying is weird to me, because you was there. How can you say the person that evoked that reaction is not?
We was there in Cardiff, Wales, bro. That's not in America, doggy. The bias is real.
Well, then let's go back to Royal Rumble. Go back to Royal. What are you talking? You're chatting rubbish.
The bias is crazy in this.
It's not bias. I
want to apologize to everyone that subscribes and listens and has to take on this nonsense that you hear from my co-host. I do love them dearly, but we'll move on. Drew's not a star. As you just said it yourself. You admitted it on the group chat.
No, I don't think that he's not a star. He is 100% a star. Like, he's a star. I just don't see him with the title anytime.
He's not the guy.
He's not. He's never going to be the guy, in my opinion. Like, he's kind of moved to. And it's going to sound weird, but it's a weird comparison. But yes, like, if Randy Orton never has a title again, he's still a star. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you can't compare Drew to Randy Orton.
No, you obviously can't because of what Randy's done. But like, they're kind of in that same era right now. Like, he's gonna be a main event player. He might be around this. He might be around the championship, but he's never gonna be. I don't see him having a run with it, a long, like, meaningful run with that title ever again. I think it's done.
Yeah,
Drew not winning that championship the other day is more to do with their plans for Roman than their plans for Drew.
I don't buy that because he could have just won it back.
Yeah,
you could have just won it back.
They don't want him to lose.
That's too much of a big thing for Drew to just win it. Like, oh, we're gonna boost up Drew because Drew's not gonna be the guy as Roman is the guy. Like, they can't just mess that whole thing up. That is made for Cody. We have to leave that for Cody.
If Vince was in charge, Drew would have won in Cardiff. 100%.
I disagree.
I think he would have.
Okay, put it this way, Ace, the conversation this week has been they want two champions going into WrestleMania.
Okay.
But they don't want Roman to lose. This is the conundrum they're in. Exactly. So people have been saying like, oh, like him and someone else goes up a ladder and pull down one belt each.
Oh man.
Or like Roman defends the title in the Royal Rumble and gets thrown out the Royal Rumble. That way he's not visibly pinned. Like there's a serious conundrum right now of how they're gonna walk into WrestleMania with two champions. That's easy. That's what Triple H wants.
They could have done it. They could have done it in Cardiff. They could have done it in Cardiff. All they needed to do was it turns into a triple threat and Fury pins somebody that's not Roman. So then he doesn't lose anything. He didn't lose the title.
Fury pins.
Title. Yeah. So like Fury pins that. It might not, obviously it's not going to happen now. It's happened already. But the next match turns into a triple threat and Fury pins the other person and takes that title and they go off into the sunset to Raw. And then Roman just has the Universal. And then that's how they split the titles. Because then Roman ain't been pinned.
I hear you, but they don't want him to lose. Full stop. That's
losing, but he hasn't lost.
You walked into the match with two titles and you're leaving with one. What one?
Okay. Well, how are they going to do it then? He has to lose it.
I think Cody night 1, he beats The Rock night 2.
2 matches over the weekend.
Yeah. If anyone can do it.
I think the other way around, maybe.
I don't love that.
Maybe Cody night 2, you think?
Yeah, The Rock, he faces The Rock night 1, then night 2, Cody has won the Rumble, he faces Cody and drops the belts to Cody. And then Cody can come out and do the honorable thing afterwards. I only need one, the WWE title, let the other show have the Universal title. And then that might just be the best way to just set it. And then Roman goes into the sunset.
Why don't they just do a Royal Rumble, put the belt on the Royal Rumble on the line? One of the belts on the line of Royal Rumble.
That's what some people have said.
Cody returns and wins the Royal Rumble and wins the belt.
Nah,
and then Reigns can go focus on The Rock going forward to Mania.
Nah, because the story about Cody is the fact that his music opens with "There's more than one family in wrestling."
Yeah. One more royal family.
Royal family, and the bloodline is acting like they're the family.
Yeah,
that's the story. So they have to have a match. It can't be anything else. It has to be this family against your family. And anyone's gonna tell that story perfectly will be Cody Rhodes. He will tell that story beautifully. So yeah, I think Cody's the only option in my opinion as well. I think Cody has to be the guy to come back, especially him sacrificing his pectoral muscle and having that match with Seth. Reward him, man. Give him that. Give him the belt, man. Do it for his daddy and let him come out with the polka dots. You know what I mean? I think next question.
Yeah.
Are there too many main event stars in WWE at the moment?
Well, list them because I'm struggling to think of any. I mean, Drew, yeah.
Right.
Drew's the main event.
There's too many mid-carders that they're not building properly.
Who's the main eventers?
Well, this is the thing. I think a lot of the mid-carders, we're kind of like, we can see that maybe we think Trips thinks that they're main eventers. Like, they're obviously building KO to something, I think, in my opinion.
Okay.
Karrion Kross.
Okay.
Braun Strowman. Is Braun Strowman a mid-carder? I don't think
he'll be a main eventer. He's a main eventer.
You got Roman, Drew. Sorry, how many have I mentioned so far?
You said Karrion, Strowman, Drew,
KO.
Seth, KO.
And you said KO. Seth 5, yeah. Seth.
Riddle's kind of AJ. Well, not really, but yeah.
AJ's the main event.
Yeah, not really, but yeah.
He's a main eventer by talent, not by booking.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I had like a long list. Sorry.
Will Biggie be a main eventer when he returns?
Has to be.
Sheamus?
Sheamus should be, but
Randy Orton.
Randy, like this. I just feel like there's a lot of people at the moment. But again, that's
Logan Paul. You know,
talk about Logan
Technically.
Logan Paul.
Technically, yeah.
Bobby Lashley.
Lashley,
Bobby.
yeah, Lashley.
There's a lot.
Not Kofi though.
Not Kofi. Kofi's done out, man.
When they split these belts, it won't be an issue. But
That's
right
true.
now, it's an issue because there's like we're naming 10 man and they're chasing one person and not getting anywhere near to him.
Yeah, true.
I think I'm out of questions.
Well, should we talk a little bit about what's happened over the weekend on SmackDown and on Raw?
Let's go.
It kicked off with Logan Paul and Roman Reigns. We all spoke about this earlier with the little promo with Paul Heyman. Is Logan Paul? All right, forget what happened. Is Logan Paul the right guy right now? I feel this seems very rushed, especially with Logan Paul's third ever match. This will be his third ever match.
It's crown jewel, isn't it? So they need a
crown jewel. Yeah, that's it.
But there's people in Saudi Arabia know who Logan Paul is.
That's my argument. I would have left it for America, but maybe they just want to just quickly give Roman someone to beat in it. It's better he just beats someone that's not really on TV rather than he beats someone that they're building up. And then they have to kind of start building up that person again.
I don't know. I really enjoyed the podcast between the interview between Logan Paul and Roman Reigns. I tell you, if you haven't seen it, make sure you watch it. It's really good. What's
the highlights of that podcast? Because I ain't seen it yet.
No, he just asked really good questions. Logan Paul and the team asked questions about, his leukemia. They talk questions about, how to win over a crowd, what he was like when he first came up. They talk about the Suffering Succotash promo. Talked about his wife, his kids. Talk about his NFL career before he got injured. Yeah, it was good, didn't it, Max? What did you not say?
Yeah, it was just good. It was good to see Roman just like in a regular setting.
Yeah, he was nice as well.
Was he Roman or was he his own Joe?
No, he was Joe. He was Joe.
No, he was Joe, yeah.
Logan Paul went toe-to-toe with Paul Heyman and didn't even look like he had never been on a ring before on the mic.
He didn't flounder one bit.
Yeah, sick. Like the what chance, everything. He was very good. And even like you could see when they went off script a little bit, like he was like, let me jump in here. And he was just like, he even threw Paul Heyman off a little bit. Yeah. I was like, well, do you know what I mean? Like he's good, man.
He's a showman. He's definitely a showman.
Definitely. I think Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul Mania.
That needs to happen for sure.
That should happen.
I agree. I agree. Totally agree.
Who goes over?
Logan Paul. He's got a contract. Bad Bunny doesn't.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
That's true.
What else happened on SmackDown?
Solo Sikoa versus Mad Mox.
I feel bad for him, man.
I said Madman Mox in that. What's his name again?
Mad Cat. I don't know why they repackaged him visually and then left him with the same name.
It doesn't make sense.
That name's dead, bro. I'm gonna keep it real.
He's got no love.
Ace, what do you think about his reaction from the crowd?
It's so like I feel so like he came out and made the save, yeah. Usually when someone makes the save, like people get excited. No one cared. Like his music hit, there was just no reaction. Like like you're not really supposed to hear the wrestlers if they ain't got a microphone. Like we could hear you because you're the only person speaking at the moment. Like you're banging the chair. It's not good, man. And I was saying this earlier, like WWE feel like they use Baron Corbin a lot actually. Like they use him to get people over. They use him to like get heat for people. I get that, but he's actually not hated. He's not a dastardly heel. He's not like we kind of like him a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying? So if somebody turns on Baron Corbin, that's not going to automatically make them a face. Like we don't care if you don't like. No one likes that Baron Corbin. It's not a big thing. He hasn't really done anything to us. He's just annoying. So them thinking that was going to make him the most loved face was a big mistake. And he needs to do more than just run to the ring with a chair and have his hair slipped back. And go back to the jokes, man. Tell the jokes again, bro. Do something else. Sorry, that's my point.
What do you guys think of the Drew promo with Karrion Kross? Were you guys upset that Karrion Kross didn't show up and attack him from behind or anything like that?
I like the fact it was seamless, how they're kind of weaving segments on the show. Like obviously they framed it as if Drew just kind of interrupted the commentary and just came onto the desk and whatever. But yeah, it's the same kind of rah-rah speech that Drew does in it. So I don't know. We got Extreme Rules in 3 weeks. Maybe them two can beat each other up in some type of Extreme Rules match.
I'm loving that. Sami Zayn. Go on.
We get to Sami Zayn because Sami Zayn's an MVP right now. But before we get to that, what did you guys think of Liv Morgan's interview promo to Ronda Rousey? I'm a bit bored of it. Sorry.
I'm still not buying it. I'm still not buying her. I don't know what it is. There's something because even like at one point, like Zelina Vega was champion, and you're still like, do you know what? Yeah, cool, isn't it? I can't think that about Liv. I'm just not buying her.
You know the problem with Liv, in my opinion, is that she beat Ronda Rousey for the title. Like she cashed in, then she's beaten Ronda Rousey again since, if I'm correct. She's beaten Shayna Baszler. Like they should have given her, like built up a Shotzi or built up at most a Natalia like.
Yeah.
Like these man should have ended her title reign. Like, how is she? Who's left in the division if she's already triumphed 2 MMA, beasts? Like, it's just not believable. Like
people that can actually fight.
Exactly. Like, it's not believable.
And I think she's gonna do it again. I think she's gonna win.
They've made it an Extreme Rules match, so she's gonna just use tools to beat up Ronda somehow. Like, it's just not believable.
I also think Shayna turns on Ronda. I think we're going to get a program with them two going forward, and
it's necessary.
I think that's probably going to happen. Like their little brief interactions, like, are not because we're brethren. Something's going to happen.
I want them to beat each other up and then form a tag team like Sheamus and Cesaro did. I'll go win the women's tag belts.
That'll be sick. But yeah, I'm not buying Liv. Sorry, man. Sorry, Liv. Do more.
Yeah, I think you guys might be right. But this is a great way to segue to my interview with Liv Morgan at Cardiff at Clash at the Castle weekend.
Kickout podcast. I am here with the SmackDown's Women's Champion, Liv Morgan, who's going to go toe-to-toe with Shayna Baszler at Clash at the Castle. I mean, you had to do that vigorously at SummerSlam against Ronda Rousey. And now, a month later, they're telling you, do it with another UFC legend. How does this make you feel?
Beating Ronda Rousey twice and now facing her friend Shayna Baszler, who I don't know if you watched, but a couple weeks ago I said, Shayna Baszler is kind of like a bootleg Ronda Rousey, and even though I know how talented she is, I know how much work she's put in. She has 20 years worth of mixed martial arts experience, but I beat the best of the best. Not only once, but I beat her twice.
Absolutely.
And so I don't think Shayna's going to be an easy feat, but I believe genuinely if I could beat the baddest woman on the planet, not only once but twice, which I'm the first woman in WWE to ever do that, I could beat Shayna Baszler. I mean that with the utmost respect.
Something like that will grow your confidence, right? Especially for somebody who's been in the game for such a long time, going through the ranks in NXT and now where you are. How does it feel to get this in your hand right now?
It feels very, 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 very earned. As much as I felt like maybe last year I should have been champion, I think the wait and the work just made everything so much sweeter. I feel like the fans got to be on this crazy, crazy, crazy journey with me. Not everyone relates to being the best. Not everyone relates to being the toughest, the fastest, or the strongest. But I think everyone can relate to working really, really, really hard to achieve your goal. And so I think it all, at the end of the day, just made everything so much sweeter.
And how's the arm? Everything okay?
It's doing okay.
100%?
It's still not 100. I say 85, but it's progressed really, really, really well.
And you thought of a counter-attack plan in case, Shayna likes to...
Yeah, I mean, I know, I'm very, very, very aware. I've taken weeks of, arm abuse from Shayna, but I've been taking some sparring lessons with Riddle. He's been very, very, very nice to kind of give me his time, and he's taught me a lot of things of how to defend myself. I'm not going to try to use Shayna's game against her, but I definitely have some great little tricks for self-defense.
Awesome.
So I feel really good.
Well, we're going to be rooting for you. So all the best, and we can't wait to see you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Yeah. What else? Yeah. Let's talk about Sami Zayn. Scan. Let me hear your thoughts, man. What's your thoughts on the work Sami Zayn's doing at the moment?
I'm loving the slow build with this. I'm hoping that the end game is KO and Sami reunite and just do some madness and win them tag titles. I like the dynamic that one of the Usos don't like him. I think that's wicked. And the fact that Solo picked him over his own brother to accompany him. It's just those little seeds that they're dropping, man. It's wicked. I like the storytelling.
Yeah.
Crowd's loving it as well, man. Crowd's loving it. Like he's getting a Sami chance. Like
he's doing great work, man. He's doing great work. Tay, you enjoying it?
But they could mess it up. They could easily mess it up.
They can. Yeah.
100%.
I don't think they will.
I think Mex is right. I think this is strategically, carefully planned out, and I think they know what they're going with this. And
remember, they're still simultaneously letting the Kevin Owens story bubble with these guys. That Kevin is still trying to make Sami see sense that he's not one of these lot. Like, there's a lot here that they can work in, many directions they can go in.
Yeah.
I do like you're saying, they do they're more intertwining different aspects of everyone's storyline, which makes it a bit more for good viewing. Because even with the Kevin Owens last week with Austin Theory, that promo was top.
Yeah.
Even with that, you can bring in an angle with Theory can kind of come in and go back out. Like I like the way that they're doing it now. It's much better than
Theory's
before.
already been harassing the bloodline because he's Money in the Bank holder. So he is, remotely in the mix as well.
This is funny, right? I don't know why it always reminds me of this because it's totally different. And Sammy is kind of brought into the bloodline as a bit of a comedy act where the guy I'm going to compare it to wasn't. He was actually a member of the faction. But it just reminds me when Owen Hart was part of the Nation of Domination. Do you remember that? Even though that wasn't a comedy act, that was just because The Rock was boys with Owen. The Rock was like, yo, come through. But yeah, it just reminds me of that. But yeah, Sammy's doing great work, man. And I think Ace is gone. See you later, Ace. Da, 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 da. What else happened?
But one thing I do like in the Triple H era, man, is the little subtle things they say on commentary. So like they said, like Ricochet and Sami Zayn had wrestled like 10 years ago in a different company. And they mentioned the company.
And PWG.
PWG, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
That's good. That's Triple H is just saying, we do know, we acknowledge wrestling and wrestling exists and it's not that deep. I don't know why Vince always had an issue with that, but it is what it is. Am I missing anything else that's important happen on SmackDown this weekend?
What was the main event? Because I never got to that bit yet.
The four-way tag team match. Imperium versus Hit Row versus New Day versus Brawling Brutes.
Oh, who won that? I didn't even see that.
The Brutes won.
Okay.
And then Usos next week for the titles.
Interesting.
Is he Pete Dunne yet, or is he still Butch?
He's still Butch. But he's got Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne attire. Yeah.
Pete Dunne aesthetics, but he's still Butch. But I think that's the best. I think Butch is a good character, man. Like Pete Dunne, he was a bit dull sort of thing. But yeah, I think Butch is something that people have kind of bought into. Maybe it's just the name. He could have just probably been Butch in character without the name change.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right,
actually, but I think Imperium are looking real good right now.
Cold.
Well, big up Triple H, man. He's doing great work. It's exciting to watch WWE again. Anything to talk about with AEW Max before we sign off?
I'm just trying to think. We've got Grand Slam next week. Moxley versus Danielson for the AEW World Title.
Okay. Who's winning that?
I think it should be Danielson, man.
It's got to be Danielson.
Oh, Ace is back. Oh, you're back.
Yeah, the Undertaker came.
I was about to back it up in a bit.
Yeah, no, I'm done. I wanted to just say one last thing about Sami Zayn. That's all. I love that he wears the old Bloodline merch. That's just making me laugh. like, you can't have a new T-shirt, fam. Wear the old one. That makes me laugh. You ever noticed that, have you? He wears the old T-shirt. He's the only one that wears the old merch, like the old merch. It's so funny.
That's actually genius, bro. Genius. And I see that when he came out, he kept putting the ones up, and nobody else was. That was funny.
He's such a beg, but it's hilarious.
Great. Some exciting stuff coming with AEW. We might crown a new AEW World Champion. We'll see what the future holds at AEW. Hopefully, they can hold it up and still be a strong force to be reckoned with. I hope so.
And
who's likely to be the new AEW champion?
We were saying Danielson. I think it should be Danielson. Just give it a clean slate, a new AEW kind of thing.
He's the only person in the crew that hasn't got a title, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go.
But then now Mox won't.
So Mox has it.
No, so Mox had it and then lost it to Punk. Obviously, Punk's vacated it, and now it's Mox versus Danielson in the final.
I'm so behind. Okay.
But the thing is, Mox did the sick promo, man, and he's got like more of a rapport with my guy MGF.
Yeah, but Mox is supposed to be on holiday.
And I think the MJF stuff is to throw us off, to make us think Mox is winning it.
Yeah, he's not.
Mox is going on holiday. Mox shouldn't be on our TV right now, but all of this drama, they made him call him back.
Listen, if they're saying to Mox, we're going to give you another run with that championship, bro, he's postponing that holiday.
No, it's overkill.
Maybe, but I think it's going to be Bryan. I think it should be Daniel Bryan because it just gives a new look. By the way, one thing I want to say about AEW: stop having Ring of Honor on your TV. Stop it.
Not gonna stop. Jericho versus Cesaro for the ROH title next week.
I don't want to all right, then why don't you just get rid of Rampage and just call it Ring of Honor? Let's do a Ring of Honor show.
I agree.
I agree. It's just this whole Ring of Honor bleeding into the AEW. It just takes me away from it. I just don't want to see it. Samoa Joe wrestled someone I didn't care about.
Josh Woods, yeah.
Don't care about him. I was like, I guess it's not all about me. Anyway, so
I think people agree with you still.
Thank you. All right. Well, this is a fun episode. We're squeezing in an hour. Let's do more of this. Let's do more random subjects, guys. Let's do good content. Let's talk
I'm down.
Nonsense. Because we got a bunch of interviews that's been dated that we need to put out.
Can I just say to everybody that realized that my hoodie was inside out? I was meant to wear it that way.
Wow.
No one can see from here.
I don't think anyone noticed. You look like you're wearing a straight jacket, if anything. You just look crazy.
I just looked down and I was like, wow, this is inside out.
You look like you're at Arkham Asylum, bro. You know, wearing a straight jacket, talking about wrestling, getting cuckoo. talking about Harley Race in the good old days.
Drew should be champion. All right, cool. Guys.
I don't know why you're upset about CM Punk. Harley Race would have done it. All right, guys. Love you guys.
Peace.
Let's do more content during the week. Peace.
Yeah, man.
Love you guys. Take care.